Dave, you got Bobby Miller on the mound. He made his major league debut against the Braves earlier this season. How have you seen him become more of a major league pitcher since that first start?
Well, yeah, he's had exponential growth from that first start. I think really emotionally he's grown. I think he understands how to navigate hitters now. I think he's got much better command of his entire pitch mix. I just don't see him trying to throw. He's a pitcher. He makes pitches, quality pitches. He understands emotions and how to use them to his advantage. And he's just really been impressive.
The first 3 games of this series, the Braves have gotten a lot of 2-strike hits. How key is that for Bobby today to be able to put them away?
Yeah, I think that they're an aggressive swinging team in the strike zone. Once they get 2 strikes, they do a really nice job of spoiling pitches, taking pitches, that they should take, and getting a base hit when needed. And when we're right, we do the same thing. Certainly the first 2 games, they did a considerably better job than we did. And I think last night it was kind of, they just waited us out and got a big hit, and we didn't. But yeah, today, it's going to be good to see Bobby, face these guys. It's a different ball club in the sense of months ago when they faced him, so it's a good test.
Obviously, there's a lot of talk, playoff preview, whatever, between these 2 teams. These first 3 games, just kind of what have you taken away about how you guys match up, and then how important or overblown is it taking a game today and not getting swept in this?
Well, you never want to get swept in any capacity, let alone a 4-game series. I think we match up just fine. I think that how you go about preventing runs. There's not one way to do that. I think we can do that, which we showed last night. I think when you get opportunities to score runs and take advantage of situations, we've got to do that. But today we've seen Charlie Morton a ton. They've seen Bobby once, and it's sort of the same theme. It's the team that plays the cleanest baseball game should probably win it.
We've talked a lot about obviously Mookie and Freddie at the top, and then the different platoons at the bottom of the lineup. But how key is just, especially as you get towards October, having Will and Max and then JD, depending on his health, just having those guys in a good spot to make the lineup work the way you guys need it to?
It's important. I mean, you put together a lineup, and this lineup over there, you're going to see that's their postseason lineup, and I think getting Will untracked, which he hasn't been since the break, is important. Getting JD in there consistently, adding length versus right versus left is crucial. Max is back on track, which I think you've seen in the last couple weeks. Our team offense has been better because of that, and it just makes everyone better around him.
Did Bobby pick things up quicker than most young pitchers?
Yeah, I think so. I think I don't always like to make comparisons, but I think he picked it up like Walker picked things up. Walker came up and it was a different role out of the pen, spot starts. Wasn't great, but that next year he came back and he was fantastic. And Bobby's done a lot of that. He's he pays attention. And I think that he and Lance Lynn have a really good kinship already, which for me is fun to watch. And he loves to watch baseball, which is cool.
We talked about with Bobby, learning how to pitch. How much valuable is that? Especially, we all kind of know the velocity, we all kind of know the quality and stuff, but that part of it, and how much growth has sort of had to make in that sort of avenue the last year or so.
A lot. I think that when you throw 100 miles an hour, I think you feel at times you can bully guys, and there's you want the situation to be over, and you just kind of throw as hard as you can and hope that it ends, the at bat, the inning. But I think that he's starting to understand now that you've got to take a deep breath and use your entire pitch mix and keep making pitches. And that's stuff that Walker, going back to Walker did a really good job of early on in his career.
Mickey Walker, I know it's 2 innings, but what are you guys going to be kind of looking for in terms of like optimism, positivity, like going forward, like what that he can actually be a contributor for the team?
Yeah, I think that, right now it's just making sure you get the pitch count up, making sure the stuff's there, sprinkle in some command, and then most importantly is after he comes out of it that he feels well.
Do you see how the starting pitching compares this series? Are you concerned about your rotation?
I wouldn't say concerned. I think that, to think that our guys are going to go out there, I don't know. I'm not concerned about it. I think that I know our guys pretty well, and you don't just have to win in the postseason with starters. I think there's different ways to do it. We're going to be relying on our whole pitching staff to prevent runs, I can tell you that.
Hey, when you look at the story of this team this year, how would you describe the impact that the rookies have made, and especially compared to the past season?
Huge contributions. I think, mainly from the pitching side, with Bobby, with Emmett, with Ryan, and then obviously with James in center field. Huge contributions. And we had Vargas early, and it was good to see him get his feet wet. But this is not easy. It's not easy to be a rookie on this ball club, having championship aspirations, and to be productive and impactful. It's hard. And all those guys have taken their lumps, but they've gotten better, and they're all viable pieces for the rest of the season.
Miguel Rojas was telling me just now that this is the most fun he's ever had in his career, even though it's the worst he's ever hit in his career, in his opinion. Have you ever seen him get down just because of the lack of performance?
All the time. I see him get down all the time. There's a difference, though, between getting down and frustrated, but moving on to the next play. And Miguel does that as well as anybody I've seen. He expects a lot of himself with the bat. It hasn't been consistent, but every time he gets in there, there's compete, there's fight, and he will get big hits for us this postseason. I'm certain of it. I believe it. I see it. For me, the defense, I'll take his defense against anybody at shortstop, and a big reason why our pitching staff has been so much better the second half is because of him.
Think he's the candidate for a Gold Glove there?
He should be. I don't have the luxury of looking at all these other guys on a nightly basis, and I don't completely trust all the statistics. So my eyes tell me he should absolutely be a candidate for Gold Glove.
It was Vargas in consideration for being one of the September call-ups, or kind of how are you guys looking at him right now?
He was. I think, to be quite honest, Michael outplayed him, and Michael's a prospect as well, and we absolutely believe in what Miguel Vargas is going to do for us going forward. But I do believe that, at some point meritocracy, performance should matter, and to be quite honest, Michael went down there and played well.
Does Michael look different this time up than previous last couple?
He looks more assured of himself. There's still some things that I think he's got to continue to clean up, which he's working on. But right now it's just hard because he's used to playing every day. But we're getting ready for we're in September now. And so when I get a chance to get him in the games, I'll do that. But this is more for him to be ready when called upon, gain experience. But that's about it, yeah.
Does any part of you miss those mass call-ups from years before?
No. And I say that jokingly. I think that it's always great to have young players come up, get service time, I was a September call-up. So I do miss that. But there's a point though where there's just a lot going on in the clubhouse and batting practice making for, it just gets a little tight. And so to kind of keep it more focused, a smaller group makes it more manageable.
That sideways hop hit Michael at first base the other night, Thursday or Friday. That's one that would get anybody, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was a kind of a side spin, soft serve, tweener, but he's fine over there.